Hey friends, Happy New Year. It is January 2024. I am down in Mexico City now. I came down here to see my dad, who was passing through, and some Tokyo friends. They're also in town. So, having a great time here. I absolutely love Mexico City. I could definitely live here. So, yeah, it's been great. Really beautiful. I feel really safe. I'm in the Roma Norte area. Condesa is also pretty safe, central, but absolutely fabulous, beautiful. Beautiful place, wonderful food, great people. But now that it's the new year, I thought I would look back on 2023, my first year as a full-time trader and doing the digital nomad thing, and just review like how did it go? Did I hit my did I hit my goals? Did I cover my expenses? All that kind of stuff. So so yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. So 2023 in review. Um, First, I thought I would go over what my goals were for 2023. So going into the year, I had been trading prior to 2023 while I had a regular job. So the style of trading that I do, it's very hands off. You can absolutely have a normal 9 to 5 job, 9 to 5 day job that you go to. Although you will need to be able to, like during lunch break or something, have access to the market to go in and modify or enter positions. But my goal was to make 2% per month on average. And that's because that's what I was making historically going into that. So as I switched to doing it full time, I just wanted to maintain that level of performance. I wanted my expenses for the year traveling to be completely covered by my trading. And I had a significant size account to cover that, and I wanted to travel full time. So, and I did actually. I went to Japan. I went to the Philippines a couple times, Boracay, Manila, Puerto Galera. Actually, Japan a couple times. I went to Hawaii. I went to Florida to visit family. I'm here in Mexico City now. So yeah, it's been a great time. Now, originally, I had planned to just do an RV trip around the US, but RVs got really expensive and there were some other personal life complications. So I just decided to travel the world full time instead. That way I could be more flexible and still thinking maybe I'll do the RV trip, so maybe this year. But for 2023, traveled the world and it was awesome. So I was budget minded. I tried not to be too ridiculous with my spending, but I didn't have a strict budget and I just did whatever I felt like throughout the year. I also booked a lot of stuff kind of last minute. I had a lot of other expenses, had to buy a laptop. I certainly spent more than I had to. So my last day at the 9 to 5 job was January 30th. So February to December is the window for my, first year is really 11 months. Right. So year's over. So how did I do? Well, my average month between February through December was 1.9%. So just a teeny bit shy of that 2%, but I'm totally happy with that. So, which is great because that was kind of what I was planning for. Now, my total expenses, this included, I spent some time in a resort in Hawaii. I had to replace my laptop partway through the trip. I booked a lot of stuff kind of last minute. There was a family emergency. So there were a lot of kind of random things that pumped up the number higher than it could have been, but $41,734. Obviously, you could do this for a lot less, but that's what I spent in 2023. So that's the number. And my total trading returns was $44,055. So did I cover my expenses? Absolutely, I did. So I'm very happy with that because I was not shy about spending money at all in 2023. So next year I plan to be a bit more budget minded, but we'll get to that. But that should help. But yeah, totally fine. I also had some dividend stocks that I included in my returns. So those yielded 35.46. I broke them out separate here because it's not really trading per se. But yeah, just sort of a nice cushion. So all of that together, I ended the year with an extra 5,867 on top. So a couple of caveats. Full-time trader. When I say full-time trader, what do I mean? All I really mean is that I could support myself entirely through the trading itself. Um, but I don't have to sit at a screen all day. And there are times I choose to, but I can do this just a few minutes a day if I wanted to. And that frees me up to do side IT work, other projects, whatever I want, which could bring in income as well. Um, so my definition of full-time trader is just that I think what most people would say, like I could do it full-time. I could do it as my sole source of income. Obviously, being able to trade for a living and not being tied to the computer is a huge advantage. And if you're traveling places like Asia, you don't want to be up like 10 o'clock at night to 4 in the morning because that's U.S. hours or anything like that. So the style of trading I do, which is options income trading, really lends itself to traveling the world. So that's my full-time trader definition. Taxes, obviously, those numbers were pre-tax. I'm a Florida resident. I'm an American, so I'm a Florida resident. There's no state tax on capital gains, and the first $40,000 of long-term capital gains is taxed at zero. And since I predominantly trade index and futures options, those are treated as 60% long-term capital gains. So I'm only being taxed on 40% of my gains at the lowest bracket. The short version of this is just to say the tax is going to be pretty negligible and not really an issue. Now, once you start to mix in, IT income and stuff that out in the real world that pushes me into a higher tax bracket, then yeah, maybe it's a little bit of a argument to be had there. But that's why I'm ignoring taxes. And lastly, obviously, I could have cut my budget absolutely, much lower, and I hope to do so this year. Although I am going back to Hawaii, but yeah, I spent a bunch of time in Hawaii. We had a family emergency. Most of my flight bookings were last minute. There was just a lot of stuff that just kind of went wrong, and I just, I wasn't shy about spending money. So 2024, I've been setting up my goals for going forward. For this year, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. So I'm going to trade bigger. It's just, I've gotten comfortable with the size I had for this year. I had never traded that big before. Now I'm okay with it. I'm ready to put on even more size. So I'm going to shift some of my account allocation out of a basket of index funds that I have into more active trading. So this year I'm going to look for a blend of income and growth. In 2023, every time the account had a surplus, I wired it out. So I targeted zero growth. Everything was used for income. But this year I'm going to try to grow the account at the same time that I'm living off of it. I'm going to try to have smoother returns. I was trading a smaller set of very large trades. I'm going to try to broaden the number of trades and strategies that I'm using to hopefully smooth out the equity curve a little bit. Although, 2023 was fine. I'm certainly happy with it. So in 2023, I didn't constrain spending at all. It was really just enough dealing with the transition to a new lifestyle and everything. And I just decided to not pay attention to that. But in 2024, I'm going to try to cut the spending down. So hopefully spend less. So I'm looking to spend about $3,000 a month instead of, it was probably about $3,800, $4,000 a month in 2023. So about 20% less than I spent in 2023 when I had no limit. And, obviously I can go even lower than that, but 3K is plenty. Spending less means I can add more back into the trading account. So that's more growth, more dollars, more long term. And my last goal for 2024, some of you may, from my other videos, know I use Thinkorswim, and they have great options analytics, so I can plot things like the T+0 theoretical line and stuff. If you watch those other videos, you'll know what I mean, but Thinkorswim is kind of necessary for what I'm doing, and I don't like that. I don't like being tied to that broker. They were just bought by Schwab. I am happy with them, but I would like to get my analysis off of their platform so that I could move to a different broker in the future. So I've been working on my own analysis software as well, which you may have seen a glimpse of. And in 2024, I'd like to get that to the point where it could be kind of my daily driver instead of using Thinkorswim. So yeah, break my dependence on Thinkorswim. Anyway, I am off to watch Lucha Libre. That's the wrestling where they put the funny masks on and everything with some friends of mine here in Mexico City. So I will leave you guys to it. I just wanted to update you on 2023, how it went for me, what I'm looking at for 2024. And if you want to follow my journey for the next year, be sure to hit subscribe, and I will see you guys there. Peace.